For those of you who join me for the first time, my name is Tisha and I am the lead event manager behind TCJ Events. And as promised in my live last week, we will be going live every Thursday for this month to talk about different things, different topics, different questions that we get all the time. It's time to jump back out there and start talking to you guys. So, as if you've been following my stories, the topic for this evening is supposed to be what pretty much is the process, or what does a coordinator do for your event. So we're gonna touch on that, and I have all these wonderful questions that people have been responding to my poll all day. I know I'm gonna spend most of the time addressing those, so I'll just jump in one time to what we're talking about first, and then we will answer all the questions. So if you have questions, it's not too late, you can post them. I will do my best to answer while on the live. If not, it will definitely be answered in a post, and I will tag you and send it to you. So I'm going to talk general because everyone thinks that I only do weddings, but that is not true. I actually am an overall event manager, right? So I'm going to talk general, but because I know most of my followers are pretty much interested in weddings, that's why I tend to talk about it so much. But what I'm about to say, or what I talk about, can be applied to pretty much any event. So what exactly does an event coordinator do, and is there a difference between a coordinator and a planner? So in terms of a coordinator, so let me just paint a couple of scenarios for you. So as I said, I'm going to use scenarios of weddings because that's pretty much my followers on Instagram, and they're mostly women, right? So you're running an hour late behind schedule for your event, and you pretty much have to now figure out how everything is going to make sense. You have all this entertainment lined up. You being late is now going to throw everything off. Who's going to be the person to bring everybody back on track, right? Everyone is now wondering, oh my god, we're late, what are we going to do? Second scenario is you just had like the most epic photo shoot after your ceremony, and you get back to your reception, everything is going nice, everyone is dancing, everybody's having a time, and then boom, all of a sudden the place is plunged into darkness. What are you gonna do? Who's gonna fix it, right? The third scenario is you've just arrived at your reception after having the most intimate ceremony. You're trying to get into your reception hall and you're being told, wait, no one can get inside because the decorator is still decorating, and you are now outside the door starving and your guests are hungry. These are all real life scenarios that have happened, not all with us, but even when we are not there, we still hear about the story, right? So it's pretty much, what does your coordinator do? Your coordinator is pretty much the person to deal with all these issues that are pretty much gonna happen. Not necessarily these, but they're always gonna be hiccups on the day, and you don't want to be, and you don't have to be, and you should not be the one that everyone is running to, trying to get a solution. Who should we go to? The DJ can't find a tablecloth for his table. Who we should be asking? I mean, these things sound trivial, but they are all real life situations that pretty much happen. So what does your coordinator do? Your coordinator is pretty much your representative, your eyes and your ears and your voice on the day, so that you who have spent time planning everything can pretty much focus on what the event is about, and not have to be worrying about all the back end story. And it is unfortunately something that people pretty much don't appreciate until the day of, and they're like, oh crap, I should have really gotten somebody to deal with this, or oh my god, I'm so exhausted, I can't deal with this. And you spent all this time planning this event. It could be your wedding, it could be your team line, it could be a family event, anything. You are the one behind these scenes that you would have spent all this time planning and putting together, and then you can't enjoy the event because you're running up and down. When all the epic moments happen, you missed it, or people are talking about things and you have no idea because you're burnt out and you're tired and you just want the thing to be over. We pretty much spend months, weeks planning events that pass by in 8 hours, 9 hours. So why not do it in such a way that you can spend the time doing the event and still pretty much enjoy it? It's like, why even bother about it? And then in the case of weddings, we often hear people say, I should have just eloped. That's not really what it's supposed to be about. An event is an investment, and it is something that you pretty much put all this energy into, and the least you can do is give yourself the honor and the gift of pretty much enjoying what you did all that work for. So how do you actually find a coordinator? Well, as most of you all are doing, you're following a lot of us on Instagram, right? Or on social media, or on Facebook, on whatever other platforms. You're doing your research. So that is good. That's one of the ways that we always say, do your research, find who's pretty much out there, who's in your area. If you're working with a particular venue, ask the venue for recommendations. Ask them who do they recommend now that you have booked their space for their event. Most times venues have their preferred vendors for different things, so it's good to find out, because what you're going to have happen is that the person is going to be familiar with the space, and venues like to know when vendors are familiar with their space. It helps manage things a little easier for them, and it just helps with the overall relationship. Ask other vendors if there's anyone that they recommend. Photographers, caterers, we're all in the industry, and we all will have recommendations based on who we've worked with in the past. So find out, you've already booked this particular one, is there anybody that they recommend for it? Ask a family or friend who would have had this service provided, who would have had the service done. Is there anybody that you can put me on to? I really want to get this thing done, but I have no idea. The options are so many. Everyone is all over, social media talking about it, and I just really just need to know, who should I go to? Who can I recommend? Most of our work comes from referrals. Most of our work comes from people who we've worked with, or who would have attended events that we've worked at, and it honestly it gives you a first-hand experience as to what the person's service is like. And that's something that we can talk about it all the time, but it's something that you have to experience. And when you get somebody's opinion on that based on first-hand experience, that's priceless. What we do not recommend, particularly in the case of brides, please do not use your mother, do not use a member of your bridal party, do not use anyone who is not really a people person, or that one friend who they don't know how to control themselves when they get things at the bar. Like, come on, you don't want that halfway through, well, not even halfway, but like a little way into the night, everything is going great, and there's one little issue, and the person who is supposed to be in charge is not in the best condition to handle the situation. You want to make sure the person is responsible and dedicated to the job. So if it's your friends who, let's be honest, the reason you're inviting your friend there is because you want your friend to enjoy the day or the event with you. Why have them work as well? So yes, as Bro Expressions to you saying, referrals are priceless. Like, there's there's nothing that we can put on that. It's the ultimate, it's the deal breaker, you can have the cheapest price, but if somebody says, that person, I had a situation X, Y, or Z, there's nothing that can take away that. So referrals, that's why we post our referrals, because we don't want to be just touting about our service. We want you to hear what other people have experienced and what they've said from working with us, because that's really the best way for you to know. So now that you've had a coordinator, what do you pretty much do? So you've gone through all of your plans and you've put everything in place. You've agreed that having a coordinator is the best thing for you. What exactly do you do, or what do you have to give to this person?